The streaming bubble finally burst. First off, this streaming is not the 2008 financial crisis. There is no bubble here to burst. It's just a trend that people follow, and there's no bursting. I think people just realized they don't like it because they just saw easy money and they didn't realize they could do it. Let's watch the video.
I've never seen this much dick pulling in my life. I've never seen so much fake competition in my life, bro. Like, and that's what realistically ruined this shit.
Like a month ago and a month and a half.
Bro, what I don't think Twitch is ruined, but what I think like drove it away from like what it actually was, what Twitch was these IRLs, these mega events. It's like, that's not what Twitch is. There's an audience for that, sure, but that's not what I thought Twitch was. Like, Twitch is like the desktop talk personality, even though, you know, there's no set rule guideline, but that's what I envision Twitch. And now Twitch has just become a platform where people create the biggest events possible, spend the most money, and then you see little dudes trying to get into Twitch and spend 20 bands on a backpack or some other material and do IRLs thinking that's the vibe. Like, even back when Oscar Poseidon did IRLs, like, it still felt like Twitch. It wasn't like a forced IRL with like no it was just him, a personality, IRL instead of desktop.
Ago, I stopped IRL streaming as much, and I know a lot of y'all have noticed that. I haven't had much energy in my streams necessarily, and I kind of just kept streaming because I just wanted to, you know, I never wanted to take a break. And then not to mention, I'm not gonna lie, I feel burnt out.
I've seen Ron go from loving streaming so much to his passion slowly going away.
Bro, I just don't know what to do with this shit anymore, bro. This shit just don't feel the same, bro. What do I do, bro? I'm so lost. Chat. I'm gonna see y'all later, bro. I gotta take some time to myself.
I'm gonna be honest, I really don't believe in this burnout idea, because if you love something that you're willing to put work and effort into being successful in it, then you're not gonna be burnt out. If I love to do this, if I love to do a sport, if somebody loves to do, you know, play music, they're gonna play music a lot. They're never gonna get burnt out playing music. I think it's just a laziness. I don't even know how to explain it, because there's nurses, doctors, vets, lawyers who work 15-hour days, 12-hour days, 30, 40 years, and people out here complaining over working a couple hours, having fun, doing what they want for, you know, a couple years max, like 10 years, 15 years. I don't know. I just don't see it.
Are you okay, man?
Nah, bro, come on, bro. I'm chilling. I'm just listening to y'all convo. But I do gotta leave. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta do shit with Davo, so I'm gonna hit y'all later, all right?
All right, bro.
All right.
Man. Views is down. Elephant in the room. Everybody, you can't pull up a nigga right now and his shit ain't cranking like it was last month, nigga. It is what the fuck it is, nigga.
It's kind of crazy how I can't even control shit on my own fucking stream. I can't control nothing.
Coming into 2025, everyone and their mama thought that streaming was the way to go. It was the means to create content to a wider audience, farm money, and do honestly some of the dopest things in the world. Celebrities.
I don't think people thought it was the way to go. They just saw it as a trend. People just wanted to hop on the trend. Even people who didn't like streaming or people who never had interest in streaming. It's not like people didn't think, oh, this is going to change the game. Sure, some people were saying that, but I don't think it's actually a valid thought. I just think it's the most popular thing to do right now for some odd reason, and everybody wants to hop on it. And then people realize they're really not as entertaining as they thought they would be, and then they give up or something.
We're getting into it. Athletes were getting into it. Politicians were getting into it. And it just seemed like streaming would be a staple for years to come. But then something happened. When everyone flocked to this medium of creating content, it started to create a bubble, and eventually that bubble would have to burst. And to be honest with you, I think that we are there. And with that,
there is no bubble and nothing has bursted. First of all, streaming has been a staple for many years, bro. YouNow, Instagram Live, I mean IG Live, I already said that, but like there's been Twitch started way back then. There was live before that, Justin TV. There was live with stream websites before that. Just because it's more popular now, I mean, the popularity it had before COVID, it was still like very popular. COVID like boosted it to another level. Maybe it's taking a downturn now, but streaming has been a big thing forever. It went from YouNow. YouNow was like a huge thing. I don't know if that was in between Twitch or whatever that was, but that was huge for like little Musical.ly stars. So it's not really a bubble. It's just like streaming didn't fall off. People are still streaming. It's just that the wrong people are getting into streaming who aren't doing Twitch like the culture and vibe Twitch was meant to be. I'm not trying to be like a gatekeeper, but you know what I'm saying? People are changing. The culture's changed is what I'm saying. And maybe that's what's going to happen. The culture of Twitch is going to change forever. And that like old content of the desktop content, that personality content is not going to be the way no more. And people are just going to, you know, enjoy these events. But I don't think so. I think it's eventually going to shift back to personality content. And people never watch streamers and YouTubers because they did big events. They watched them for their personality until like there was like the Mr. Beast and FaZe Rugs or whatever. But even before that, like it was always personality first. I think the event focused content is always going to be tailored to like younger audiences. And then like when you're past like 13, 14, 15, it's all about personality. Because you're not going to watch somebody you're bored, you think is boring. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I think.
Bursting reveals the unintended consequences of streaming being this gold mine type rush. There's been a view epidemic. Streams are getting crazy expensive and out of control. People can't have private lives anymore. And ultimately, being on live 24/7 is not something that people can handle. Hell, the child.
He just named everything that's controllable. He said it's a private life. You could limit whatever you share. You could limit your hours. There's streamers like Queso who just play video games and don't talk about the personal life at all. What else did he say? The views and expenses. Streaming is not expensive at all. Streaming's always been sit down in front of a camera, do whatever you need to do whatever you want, be entertaining. It's personality driven content. Just because you see people doing IRLs that nobody tunes into unless you're already a big well-established streamer, then it's not going to be expensive. It's going to be a setup max, or if you get a webcam, it's $50, $100 max, get a computer, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cheap.
Stars of past have shown us that before. I'm here to talk about the state of streaming in 2025 and going forward. And to be honest with you, it's not looking good. In 2024, we saw a boom in the streaming economy. We saw the rise of the FaZe Clan. We saw the rise of different members of AMP. Mafiathon 2 went off without a hitch. The FaZe Subathon went off without a hitch. And everyone and their mother flocked to streaming, which meant that the only next logical step going into 2025 was to stream more, right? But we quickly found out that that is not something that is sustainable for the whole ecosystem, for the whole environment. It can't handle everybody flocking to streaming for a plethora of different reasons. I think the first thing that had a lot of people skewed.
I just completely disagree with this take. Just because people go and try to stream doesn't mean it can't handle it, because the majority of the people who go and try Twitch are just streaming once or twice or hella inconsistently, not even doing anything entertaining. They're boring themselves. So I think there was a stat where it's like 8 million unique Twitch streamers stream a month. But then out of those 8 million, like how many do you think are doing it consistently, doing videos, doing TikToks, doing this, doing that, actually being funny, actually being entertaining, actually have a personality, actually have good quality? Like the number is so low. It's like there's no bubble. It's actually not saturated. It's just not a thing. It's like saying YouTube saturated when there's billions of hours of content posted every day, or millions. I don't know. It seems like everybody goes to college nowadays and there's still people being successful. You just got to be a little better than the rest. You actually got to take it serious. That's with everything. You got to take it serious and actually put effort into it to get results.
As to the realities of what streaming can and can't be is Streamer University. It happened earlier this year and people thought that it was a great idea. And to be honest with you, it was. It introduced a whole different subsection of streamers to the information pool that we all can look at and consume. But it definitely had some unintended consequences. It made everyone feel like they had to spend a shit ton of money in order to get their streams off. And
I'm gonna be honest, that's just insecurity, because you don't need to spend any money. It made people who don't feel like they could produce content without doing extravagant events feel like that. I mean, there's other people who didn't like change their type of style of content. There's other people who still stuck to the same thing they were doing, talking, personality, And me personally, I don't find the events entertaining. The only times I don't really watch Twitch stream, but the only times I do, or clips or videos, is when people are talking. It's conversations. That's what I like to watch. I like to watch personality driven content, and that's what I think Twitch is and Twitch should be. You can do whatever you want on the side, sure, but you can't be like acting complaining when it's not going your way or whatever. Also, speaking of streaming university, it feels like the majority of the creators who got a little bit more clout and spotlight were the creators that already had a name or already had a following. It was like very little creators that actually got a name from being over there. And the ones who did it were actually putting in effort. It's because like, it's kind of like the rich get richer. Like streaming works in a way, or just content in general, entertainment works in a way where if you already have a name, you already have a fan base, people want to flock to you because they already know you're established. They already assume your content's good. Even if you're boring, if you have 2,000 viewers, people are going to watch you, even if you're boring. But if you're like entertaining, semi-entertaining, nobody's going to watch you if you don't already have an established fan base, because there's nothing to flock to. It's like, it's more effort for a viewer to just go to a brand new person and develop a new connection and start a new fan base. It's too much work for people. So you can't build a fan base off like the snap of a finger. It takes time, I assume. And the ones that usually do build up quick, they usually like don't last long.
Streamers found out quick, fast, in a hurry. The first problem with this mass streaming movement is that streaming is an expensive venture.
The love show.
No, it is not. I disagree wholeheartedly. It is not an expensive venture at all. If you want a good quality setup, a desktop setup, the most you could probably spend is like $2 to $3 grand. But you could easily get like $800 for a nice setup and just do, whatever. People that are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for events, that's a you problem, my guy. Nobody's forcing you to do that.
This is something that I'm spending a lot of money. Like I'm contemplating selling a watch.
in order to invest in this. Like this is the most expensive shit I ever paid for. Nigga, I'm spending a house on what I'm doing. You feel me?
Y'all know how expensive it is to keep up with content creation? You can get a 10K check from Twitch. What the fuck is a 10K check when you gotta spend 5K on trips to travel, $500 on setup shit, $2,000 on your rent, $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit. You gotta pay the clippers, pay a YouTube editor. Chat, I don't think y'all realizing I be going into negative.
I think what a lot of, those two examples I think were of just bad financial management. You got to understand the money you're going to put in, you're willing to lose. And if you're willing to lose it, then that means you want to do it. And it doesn't matter if you get a profit or return, even though you would like a return, right? But if you're spending a $10,000 check and it just goes away like that, like, what are we doing here? You got to learn to understand financial resources. And just because people are doing IRL streams doesn't mean you have to hop on the bandwagon and try to do that too. Streaming is as expensive as you make it. Like that's it. Streaming is as expensive as you make it. If you manage your money right, it's not expensive at all. But if you want to go out and do whatever you want, you're complaining to the air because that's your choice. You're not forced to do it. You could sit down on a laptop and a webcam, $60 a month. That's it.
People saw from people like Kai Cenat or any of the people from FaZe is that spending money for streaming, putting money back into your content is seemingly a worthwhile investment. But I think what a lot of people underestimated is the fact that they have a lot of equity built into the content creation game, where then when they do these ventures, they can see the return, they see the benefits, and they are reaping the rewards of it. They have sat there at their computers and desks and built sweat equity with a community that is willing to support them no matter if they spend money or don't spend money. So it makes sense for them to go out and buy the Samsung phones all the way up to the $30,000 backpacks. It makes sense for them to invest in a trip into Six Flags, their local theme park, or go across the country to Japan. But a lot of the new streamers hopped into this lane and it didn't ultimately pop off because they put money into it without building up that community aspect. There's a lot of big streams that went off this year that did not.
Yeah, it's like people just want to hop in and expect them to grow naturally off Twitch and clips. It doesn't matter how many views your clips get. Like, it's damn near impossible to switch that over to Twitch because people just watch clips. They don't even care about streams. Most people just know other streamers because of clips. Like, I've seen big streamers say that they get recognized in public just because of their clips, not even because of their streams. So posting clips, posting that doesn't build a community. That's just short form attention span, random content that people don't even get to know you personally. And then putting money on Twitch to no viewers, that's just a waste of time because there's no discoverability on there. You got to build a genuine community somehow with the different social media that has a natural discoverability algorithm, whether it be TikTok, YouTube, or anything else. And then you got to transfer that over. And then that will actually be easy because you'll start with a fan base. That's what I'm trying to do. Hey, hopefully somebody watches me.
Go as planned, as told by leaders of the community or just what we see. Hell, what happened to a lot of the streamers from Streamer U, Streamer Prom, the Are You My Ball show, or that other love show that Blackboy Max and them put on? And even if you ask DDG what his thoughts on what the outcome of the love show might be, it didn't go so well. It didn't do what he thought it would do.
Every dollar I made this month plus more is going into that motherfucker. And it's only a week long. If I don't average like 40, 50, I think finale I might touch a Hun Diddy or like a 150 piece.
Now I did think I would have touched $100,000.
Just because you...
Bro, that is crazy. 40K. That's hella viewers. First of all, that's a lot of viewers. If anybody had that, they would be excited. But when you set your expectations that high and put that much money and realize you probably lost money on it, I understand how people will be upset, but you also got to take, responsibility for your financial actions and maybe think about, oh, if I actually want to make money, I probably need a sponsor. Or you could just do it for the love of the game and know you're going to lose money and put on an event for your viewers or whatever.
Spend money doesn't mean that you're inherently going to get into the views, which brings me to the next issue. Viewbotting got out of hand in 2025. Now, for those of you who don't know what viewbotting is, it's when people, whoever the entity is, pays for bots to inflate numbers on a person's channel. It could be on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, but for this specific purpose, we're talking about Twitch. And as XQC and Twitch exposed, there have been a lot of people who have been viewbotting on this.
I'm gonna be honest, if I was a streamer, bro, I would viewbot, because like, how do you expect to get new people to watch your stream if you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 viewers, 30 viewers? Like, it's gonna be really hard. You gotta viewbot. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't viewbot, but I understand why people do it. But then there's big streamers who viewbot, and that doesn't make sense. But yeah,
platform. This only got sniffed out after Twitch dropped its viewbot crackdown, and honestly, it worked better than a lot of people anticipated. Viewership on Twitch is down wholeheartedly.
Apparently, the overall viewership on Twitch went down as much as 24% compared to last week, with many big streamers suddenly losing thousands of viewers. Not just big streamers, streamers of all shapes and sizes lost tons and tons of viewers, like across the board.
Now, in hindsight, it does make a lot of sense. There was times last year where there were platforms like Kick, Rumble, and Twitch where viewership was 100,000 viewers for like 6 to 7 to 8 streamers on every single platform at any given time. And to be honest with you, that was just to inflate things so people could get their advertising dollars and create this bubble that we're in now. And at some point, somebody was gonna have to.
Yeah, I think certain streamers were talking about that. I remember seeing, I think Tectone was his name. He was talking about how his management or agency would bot viewers for him or would bot sometimes old videos to just get him more money. And since like it's through a third party or something, there was like, it was just a loophole. It was just dumb or something. He was basically saying that most streamers, like agencies or managers or whatever, would bot for them so they could sell that video or that stream to the ad for more money, and then they both benefit.
Sniff it out. I mean, it was literally not making any sense. And I do want to offer another piece.
And by the way, bots still exist. Like, let's be for real right now. I don't think Twitch completely fixed the problem. Like, the streaming numbers aren't even that low. I think it kind of rebounded back. I think they still exist.
POV in the conversation though, because I don't think it's all bots.
Everybody on this bitch, views is down. Elephant in the room. Everybody. You can't pull up a nigga right now and his shit ain't cranking like it was last month, nigga. It is what the fuck it is, nigga.
Niggas are paying for me not to have viewers. I never had 250 viewers before, not even starting Twitch. Even when I wasn't even a Twitcher and I started, I never even had this many viewers.
Yo, let me tell you something about having viewers. I know I'm not one to talk because I've never had viewers on Twitch, but this is just from my perspective. How I look at it is, if you have a streamer whose view count goes high, low, high, it's very volatile, then that means that they don't really have a dedicated core fan base. They just have a fan base who flocks to them whenever they do something big because they see it on their page or on their Twitter, or on their TikTok, or you know what I'm saying? It's just like the flack effect. When you see streamers who consistently average a couple K, 5, 6, 7K, you know, consistently average 15K. First of all, the streamer I'm thinking of is Miz. I know that boy a weirdo now. Okay, but when he was streaming, I think he averaged like 15K for the past 5 years, 30K. Even after allegations, even after this, even after that, I don't think he streams no more. But that's a dedicated fan base, whether he was just sitting down talking, whether he was going outside, whether he was doing a live event. Streamers that create those dedicated fan base, that's what you should look at and be like, oh, that's kind of how I want to tailor my content, and that's kind of fan base I want to, you know, derive. I think the volatile streamers is usually the streamers that people aren't watching you for your personality. They're watching you for what you are going to do. And I don't think that's the wave. I don't think that's what you should go with. Unless you don't care about having a dedicated fan base, then that's on you.
While there are things like Mafiathon or other big streaming events that can occupy, you know, some of that cross-audience viewership over the course of the year, I think that there's a level of viewer fatigue that is not being talked about. And that just simply means that viewers are tired of watching the same things over and over again. The same streams with the girls, the same IRL streams where nothing is really happening, the same streams where nobody's really being creative. To be honest with you, Twitch has a copycat problem right now and nobody's talking about it.
I don't know if it's a copycat problem because there's only so many original ideas, and I think somebody said, like, there's a saying that there is no original idea because everything's inspired, twisted some way, shape, or form. But I don't think it's a copycat problem. I think people just want to watch interesting, funny people, because you don't ever see folks talk about, you know, the streamers that have a consistent viewership but are in a different community. Like, another person that pops into my head is Squeaks. This is a streamer who just does like personality content, and he averages like 4K, sometimes 5, sometimes 3, 6, you know, but he has a dedicated fan base. He does the same thing over and over again, but people don't get bored of it or don't talk about him because it's not a volatile content creator who relies on events. And I think what he's talking about the viewer fatigue has to do with the people that do IRLs, that do events, that you just recycle the same event and it's not something fresh or interesting because people don't care about watching the event that many times over and over again. Like, if it's done once, it's already boring the second time. Unless you're an interesting streamer, people are going to watch you no matter what you do.
Streaming right now, I ain't want to say nothing because everything, like, I feel like it's so much shit going on that it almost feel like nothing going on in a weird way. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I have a bad way with certain things. I just know, like, it's the feeling that I'm trying to portray. Everybody trying to do everything, and I'm not trying to be like nobody, I'm trying to make sure I be like myself.
And it's not to the point of like, hey, everybody's doing the same reaction content and the same reactions, playing the same games. I think that has always existed. But literally everybody is doing the big Tokyo trip, or everybody's doing some rendition of a love show, or bringing some sort of girl on.
Yeah, the difference between somebody doing reactions or the same games is that they're getting watched for the person. They don't care about the game. If somebody sees some big YouTuber or streamer play Elden Ring, and they see somebody else play Elden Ring, even if they if they like the person, they're gonna watch it no matter what, because you're there for the individual. But if you see somebody do the same event twice, you already watched it once, it doesn't matter the second time, unless it's somebody you already care about. If some 300 viewer streamer is doing a Tokyo event, no one knew was gonna watch. They already saw Kai Cenat do it. They already saw the biggest streamers do it. Like, it's already boring. It's repetitive now.
Or whatever the case may be, and having the same exact reactions as everyone else. Nobody's doing anything new. Nobody's doing anything unique with any new emotions or uniqueness behind it. They're having the same exact reactions and it's just the same. It's literally just the same exact stuff. Oh,
but I don't think you can do that many unique things. I just think the issue is people don't develop a community and they expect to gain followers and viewers off events that people have already seen
over and over and over again. Another big issue that I have with streaming now is because of this always on nature, you don't even have time to yourself in order to handle personal effects or not live moments on the internet. I've talked
once again, that's capped. That's just another personal skill issue. You could manage your time however you want. You could stream 3 hours a day. You could stream 4 hours a day. You could take 2 days off. You could take the weekends off every day. Like, what are we talking about here? There's people that work real jobs that work 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and they still make time for themselves. They still make time for their kids, for their husband, their wife, or whatever. You know, if you're a streamer and you feel like everything's online, then that's kind of a you problem. Either you want to share it online or you don't. And if you want to share it online, then you got another consequence to that. But there's plenty of streamers and YouTubers who don't share no personal information online. I'll say it again, but Queso is a prime example of that. He just sits there, plays games for 4 hours, and then does his thing, whatever he does at home with his friends, whatever.
About it in my Black Boy Max video. It's tough that these kids are growing up in real time in front of cameras, because some of this stuff is not for public consumption. I've seen issues and incidences this year in 2025 where I thought to myself, hey, it'd probably be best if you just cut the camera off.
Some family, tragedies and shit. Just shit like when my mama live out, somebody passed, I ain't gonna say who and shit, but.
Stop. Just chill. I got my elbow up. Now we gotta clip this.
Yo, the girl threw a vase on his skull? No, that's insane. There's no way he didn't get banned for that. He has to have got banned for that, right? No, that's crazy. There is some, bro. You gotta understand some things that do need to be off. That's a clip, though. That's a clip.
I'll take that bullshit off.
This is short.
I'll take it off.
No.
No, Jay.
No, you're not gonna fuck up my outfit.
I'll take that shit off.
No.
Then you're not coming. You're not wearing that shit with a rip on your booty cheek.
That's how it came.
Well, you're not wearing that with me. And don't try to masturbate me on camera. Either you take it off or you get the fuck out of my house. That's how I'm moving. Who the fuck do you think you are? What, a rip on your booty cheek? Nigga, that's not.
I think streamers who don't care to show off their personal life, I don't see a problem with it, because if you don't care, then you're not going to find an issue with it, right? But if you show off your personal life and, the private parts of your life, and then you complain about it, then I just think you're dumb. Genuinely, I think you're dumb. Whenever I get my numbers up, whenever that may be, because I'm hella funny, I won't show nothing. I really won't. No, I probably will, because I think it's fucking funny and interesting. If I had a favorite streamer, I would probably want them to, say a little bit about what they're doing. But
that's some shit you wear when you single. You don't wear that around me, man.
Just a couple weeks ago, Quinn Blackwell made a comment about streaming being digital slavery. And while I don't agree with the verb,
what? Streaming digital slavery? That doesn't even, bro, that's not even a statement that makes sense in any context. First of all, I don't think digital slavery even exists in the real world unless you got somebody owning you, forcing you to do webcam streams or something. Then yeah, it actually does exist. It's called a pimp.
Because slavery has meaning and connotation. There were some things that a lot of people took from that actually had some value to it.
I have always said the biggest influencer will be somebody who gives their life to the internet. And that's
I don't know how true that is, because the biggest streamer is Mr. Beast. And he doesn't give all his life to the internet, he just puts all his effort to the internet. If that's what she means, like putting all your work and passion to the internet, then of course that's going to be the biggest streamer. The best basketball player is going to be the person who puts the most effort and their whole life into basketball, aka LeBron James. The best soccer player is going to be puts their whole life into soccer, aka Cristiano Ronaldo. That's just a dumb common sense take.
what streaming is, and I respect it down. I think they are the Don Julios of internet creators. Would I ever do it again? No. because it gives a sort of digital slavery vibe to me.
First of all, the way that statement was made is like this individual wants to feel above or superior to these streamers because she's like slight backhanded putting them down is digital slavery. She wouldn't do that. It doesn't get the same vibe. She thinks it's putting your life into it. First off, I remember her saying this and then the next week being on a Kaisenat stream. So you wouldn't even do a digital slavery for yourself, what you got digital slavery, but then you went ahead and went on somebody else's stream, not even getting paid, just to be a digital slave, like she calls it. She's just so dumb, bro. Streaming is not digital slavery in any world, in any shape, way, or form, because you have complete and total control of it. It's a job just like anybody else. It's like calling being a doctor a real life slave because you're on call and you have to wake up at 4 a.m. and go do a surgery. No, that's just called being a doctor. That's a job you signed up for. You know what it's going to require. It's not against your will. You signed up for it. You're going to do it, and because you love that career. Just like being a streamer or a YouTuber. You could stream 4 hours a day and then not stream for 3 years, and you'll be fine. There's no rules. Twitch is not going to fire you from their website. Statements like that just don't make sense. It comes from people like being egotistical and wanting to feel above other people. It's like so whack.
Streaming in 2025 is now this thing where you have to be online all the time at the mercy of your chat, your emotions.
You don't have to be online all the time. They're making these statements like they're objective, true, universal statements. You don't. You really don't. You have to. You do what you want to do. If you feel like you need to be online all the time, then again, that's a personal problem. And people are going to say, well, the biggest streamers are online all the time. No, they're not. Kaisenat streams once or whatever. Speed streams, maybe he does marathons, but he doesn't stream every day frequently. There's other people who do stream every day and a lot of hours, but you don't have to be that way. There's also other examples. It's like very diverse. You could choose whatever path you want to take. If you want to take that path and then you complain about it, call it this and that, and then you feel like you need to be on it, that's a personal issue because you're making the choice. You don't need to be on it.
Your feelings don't matter. It's just go, 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 go. We don't even realize.
I think this maybe could even only apply to like smaller up and coming creators because they feel like if they want to succeed, they have to put out a lot of content and stream a lot of hours. Well, then maybe if you feel like you want to do it, but that's still a choice because you want to succeed so bad. But if you already have a fan base, like 5K viewers average, if you're getting dragged by your own viewer base, that's a you problem. You could control how many hours you stream and how often you stream.
Realize that these people have been living their entire lives in front of a camera and they don't have a time to get an emotional break. Now, I know what somebody's going to say in the comment section is that, hey, this is self-inflicted. This is something that they brought upon themselves. For sure. I can honestly say that. They can.
Okay, then the criticism is over. It's a choice. You're streaming. You literally have complete control over your entire career. It's not even like other businesses where you kind of need to manage it from like offline here and there. With streaming and content creation, you could pay other people to manage your other extra activities.
Start to do different things or whatever the case may be, and they're making a lot of money, whatever the case may be. Listen, I'm coming from a human aspect. It's not healthy to be on camera 24/7 like.
That's a personal choice. Does he not understand that? You don't have to be on camera 24/7. There is no rule on Twitch that states be on camera 24/7 or we're removing your partner badge and you're not getting paid. You're permanently banned. I have not seen that in the Twitch guidelines. If that is there, then I apologize and I'm wrong.
And this is why you're seeing a lot of people have these mental breakdowns when it comes to streaming now.
I've streamed 200 plus hours every single month. I just did a 4-day marathon and then streamed 13 hours a day with 0 breaks.
Guys, I am a loser. I don't do shit except sit on my couch and study shit and plan shit in my free time. I don't talk to people. It's bad. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I came home, bro. I just cried on my couch, bro. Like I cried on my couch. I'm like, damn, bro. Like I don't even have nobody, bro. Who do I have? I push everybody in my life away. I don't talk to my parents. I'm out here in LA. Like, yeah, I got my cousin, but it's like, damn, bro. Like, what am I even doing this for?
Naturally, you're going to be burned out. I mean, we're always on camera 24/7 and at the mercy of our chats. I didn't even talk about this in this video, but it dawned across me as I was doing research. I remember that time where like Senna, Valkyrie, and Extra Emily.
Yo, this was insane if anybody saw this, bro. People are crazy. You really do got to understand when you become some type of e-celebrity or celebrity in general, you got to move around like you're some type of, celebrity because that's how it is. No matter how much clout you have. Nowadays, streamers are being more known than a traditional celebrity. So it's very scary. You got to be very careful.
Got harassed at the park by the dude. And then for whatever reason, they had to come on stream the next day to explain what happened.
He kept running and trying to get something out of his pocket. And like I said, like you guys, when that clip cuts off, like we had to run into a store screaming that somebody was going to kill us. so that somebody would step in and let us in the back.
Like, what kind of weird?
Yeah, I don't understand why you have to address some scary stuff that happened to you. Like if it's some type of apology, you could just address that in a tweet or say we're taking a break or something scary happened because the people saw the clip, right? That just doesn't make sense. I don't think that's being forced by chat. Again, I think that's just another personal choice. But I guess there are certain people who are easily influenced and feel like they need to do something. And to them, I say, get your willpower up. And also, please walk the streets safer, especially if you are somebody who has a lot of fame and followers and a lot of people who want to stalk you. That is scary.
Weird ass world do we live in that streamers have to get online and justify this dumbass crime that we've seen with our eyes in 4K. Also, why are
Facts.
we seeing this in 4K? I don't know. The nature of everything being on stream is just bothering me, and I can understand why these people have burnout, because then they have an audience that doesn't believe them, so then they have to justify them, which kind of backs what, Quinn Blackwell was saying a little bit.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because they're not being held against their will in any way, shape, or form. If something happened to you or you did something and your audience is, whatever, for whatever reason, yapping about it or talking about it or bothering you about it, you don't have to respond. You don't have to address it. First off, it's gonna blow over by next day or 2 or 3 days. Second off, if it was something on stream that happened, you physically got attacked. Why do you have to address it? It's like there's no digital slavery. I hate that take, bro. Get that off my screen, please.
I see it. I think there are some positives going into 2026, though. I think that we've weeded out a lot of the people that came into the space and really didn't want to do anything positive, just saw it as a quick money grab. A lot of people picked up phones because they saw streaming and content creation as some sort of fad, but ultimately are realizing that, hey, this is something that takes much more effort that I'm willing to put in, and I don't want to slut out the space. Think about every single streamer that was popping or had some clout or had some traction this year that is just not here at the end of the year. Funny Mike. No, he's probably.
I think the streamers who did disappear or for whatever reason stopped streaming or didn't get clout or didn't have the results they wanted, it's not because they found it hard or whatever. It's because they realized it wasn't something they actually wanted to genuinely do. They saw it was a trend and hopped on it and was trying to chase the bag, like he said. You got to understand when you do something, you got to do it because you want to do it. It's the only way it's going to be genuine, and it's the only way you're going to like it, and it's the only way it's going to last forever or for a long time or for however long your career lasts.
Probably going through some legal stuff. But for real though, there's a lot of people who picked up streaming and have stopped because they're just not getting the views off. I also do think IRL streaming won't be a mainstay going forward. Bruce dropped him off, and Soluminati had some very good words about IRL streaming. It was dumb, and people were making it dumb because they were just flexing and trying to keep up with people. And it was
No, I think IRL streaming is going to stay forever. I mean, right now it seems like it's like on the forefront of Twitch because some of the biggest streamers do IRL streams a lot. I mean, IRL streaming has been a thing since 2016, 2017, Hampton, Brandon, Ice Poseidon. But I do think the main thing on Twitch will always be desktop streams. That's just how I feel about it. And I'm sure there are streamers that are made for IRL streams or whatever, but that's just my opinion on it. I think desktop streams is a way and the culture of Twitch. And that's what I know Twitch as. But if people want to change that culture to do IRL streams, then sure, but I don't think it's ever going to disappear or it's ever going to take over. I think it's always going to be a genre, kind of like how games are also a genre, but the biggest genre is just chatting for a reason because people want to see streamers just chatting, their personality.
was never meant to last based off of how these people were doing it.
It's becoming harder and harder for niggas to become streamers because all y'all think y'all need to be doing IRLs. Y'all all trying to be like these niggas at the top. You got motherfuckers talking about desktop streaming is dying. How is that even fucking possible? It's not even possible. It's just the niggas you watching.
I've never heard that take, but again, just chatting is the biggest category by far, and it's all desktop or majority desktop. I think there is some people IRL streaming in that category, but yeah, it's majority desktop.
New and you already thinking you need to be doing IRLs, nigga, you are a fucking bot. You're gonna fall off. Bro, the IRL streaming shit is so overstimulated, so oversaturated. All you see is scripts now.
Niggas is tired of seeing niggas just overly showing shit that they don't have that they can't relate to. We can't relate to you niggas no more. We can't. Y'all streaming on yachts and shit. There's a nigga that want to stream from his bathtub to pretend that he on the yacht right now. Listen, bro. You don't gotta do that.
Yeah, I think I just agree with what they say because there are people who are easily influenced that think they need to do certain things because of who they watch, right? They think they need to do these extravagant IRL streams. But in reality, Twitch streaming is desktop. That's where it started from, right? Damn, I'm not gonna lie, I think my computer crashed. But yeah, that was the end of the video. I agree with them. I agree with a lot he said. I disagree with a lot he said. You know, if you want to stream, make sure you love to do it because that's what it's about. You gotta do what you want to love. You gotta do what you love to do what you want to love. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next week, next year, whenever I upload.